Bless you, people of God. We thank God for your lives and for joining our set of teachings on how you are not supposed to compromise the image of God in you during crisis. Now, we started our first exhortation by speaking on, we introduced the subject with Genesis 1 verse 26 to 28, that God gave them his image and likeness, and then he asked them to take dominion. What does that mean? You need to have a form, a particular form, image, the seed of God in you, likeness, the character of God that you display as the result of the seed that you have in you. And we mentioned that you can have the seed and not have the character, because as you have the seed, you grow from the seed, of the seed, and then you display the character. So the seed, you have it instantly when you become born again. But the character you must display, which is the likeness of God, you grow into it. Before he gave them the mandate to have dominion, to be rulers, they needed to have the form. And that form is the Son of God, the image. And I said, most people want to be kings, but they ignore the form. You can be king over corruption. You can be king over idolatry. You can be king over a mess. So you see the people of Israel, sometimes they had kings who knew God, and then they had kings who never knew God. They did idol worship, idol practice. So let's concentrate on the person, the object that wants to dominate, rather than the thing the object wants to dominate. It's just like prayer. James chapter 5 says, the fervent prayer of the righteous availeth man. The fervent prayer of somebody who is upright, somebody who have right standing with God, somebody who is practicing the heavenly culture, somebody who has the image of God, not just the prayer. So it is not about the quantity or the quality of prayer, it's about the quality of the person that is praying. So why are Christians not focusing on building quality Christians, but they want to practice quality? You can't have You can't practice quality if you have not built quality as a personality, as part of your profile. That's what we are talking about. So you can't come and tell me somebody influenced you. It is because you made a choice. No one can cause you to do evil. If you have decided to choose to do evil, you must accept it. Because there were people who got influenced, there were people who stood and never got their image distorted. Let's look at the book of Genesis, chapter 29. Genesis chapter, 39, the story about Joseph. Now, Joseph had been taken down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him from the Ishmaelites who had taken him down there. The Lord was with him, was with Joseph. He was a successful man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hands. So Joseph found favor in his sight and served him. The point is that Joseph was a slave, sold. So he came empty. Just like Daniel was taken from Israel to Babylon, empty, had nothing. But the Bible is telling us here that Joseph was a successful man. How? Because the Bible says, and the Lord was with him. What is that? He was beaten, put in a ditch, a pit, later sold empty with nothing. But when he was sold with nothing as a slave, he was prosperous. What did he have? What did Joseph have? That the Bible tells us he was successful. He had the image and likeness of God. That was the only thing he carried. The seed of God was a weapon that Joseph carried. So you see that in the house of Potiphar, Potiphar's wife started making advances. Potiphar's wife started making advances. But Joseph, verse 19, let's see, Genesis 39, verse 10. So it was as she spoke to Joseph day by day, that he did not heed her to lie with her or to be with her. But it happened about this time when Joseph went into the house to do his work, and none of the men of the house was inside, that she caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me. But he left his garment in her hand and fled and ran. What is he doing? In attempting to sleep with Joseph, the woman was going to distort the image and likeness that had made Joseph successful from day one when he entered Egypt, an empty man. That was the only thing he carried in a wicked world of Egypt. In crisis, you may make excuses and say, God will understand that I slept with this one and had little money. Prostitution. And you want to glorify by saying, God will understand because we are in crisis. There are several opportunities to commit a crime. Robbery will keep rising, the ritual killings and all that, because crisis will continue. But in the midst of crisis, know that the only thing that is sustaining you is the image and likeness of God. So you cannot compromise the image and likeness in crisis. Joseph ran away. He was not ready to give in to the only thing that was holding him, the image and likeness of God. What about you? In crisis, that if I balance the books and I steal, God will understand. If I pick a sugar daddy, God will understand. If I steal something, this one is not much, God will understand. If I do something little compromise, the standards just to survive, God will understand. It is not true. Joseph could have made an excuse because the Bible said nobody was in their house, but he wasn't ready to compromise, to distort the same image that had kept him alive. Beloved, you are in a wicked world, a world full of crisis, but it is time to show that you will not compromise what you have. The image is the power of God you have. God bless you for joining us. This is Pastor Edemado.